Yo, guys, what is going on? It's been 2 long weeks and I got a runny nose, but that's okay. Holding myself accountable. Well, fuck, that didn't happen for 2 weeks, but we're back. Anyways, it's getting quite late. I don't know if that shit is gonna focus, but hopefully it is. Soon it's 2:30 in the fucking morning, as you can see. Super fucking dark. But we're here, and it's been a good day, and I wanted to share this day with you because I think a lot of young people out there who want to start businesses don't really know where to start or actually have something running, but they fuck up on the closing, right? And a lot of people talk about closing because ultimately, if you have a business, you need to know how to close. So, lucky for you, I prepared a fucking list for all you people wondering on how to close sales. Is this a bit tilted? Is this better? Wait, hold on. I think that's good. Anyways, we're gonna start with number one, and this is probably the first time you're gonna fucking hear this. Bring an agenda. And the reason why I say this first is because it's so unusual. People don't do that. There's only one type of people who actually do that, and that's professionals. Professionals bring agendas to meetings, and it has a super high closing rate for those people who do. Now, what do? You can either choose between 5, 7, or 11 questions. Studies have found that about 7 is an appropriate number, and you should get most of your questions answered, or if you have wondering about something, you should be able to get them answered in 7 questions. Now, how do you go on about doing it? I've prepared a small list. I'm actually going to show you right now on the list that we're using and the questions we're asking our customers. But before you do all this, sit down, talk with them, ask them how their business is doing, how they are doing, become their friend. And the reason why I'm talking about becoming their friend is because people don't buy products per se. They buy your knowledge and your trust. They're not gonna buy anything from you if they don't like you. Their gut feeling is gonna be like, fuck this guy, right? Don't buy his shit. But if you actually become their friend per se, you start talking to them, you build a relationship, you establish a relationship, then the closing part is going to be so much easier because now they're not saying no to some random fucking stranger. They're saying no to someone who actually gives a shit about them. So that will be the first part. Bring an agenda before you start selling per se, asking questions. Just sit down. Get comfortable with them. Talk with them like human fucking beings. And I swear that's going to help you a lot. So number 2 is we're going to turn the cards a bit around here because I talked about get to know them, talk with them, be their friend, right? But ultimately, they don't give a shit about you or your problems or whatever the fuck you have to offer. They care about one thing. Can you fix our problem? That's the only thing they care about, right? And what's funny about that is that usually people know they have a problem, but they don't really know how big the problem can be. So let's say we have a prime example of a customer or a client that didn't want to buy from us. And the reason he didn't want to buy or they didn't want to buy is because they really didn't know what they want on the website. They knew they needed one, but they were I don't know if we're going to spend money on this, right? But if you're in 2019 and you're a business with no website, that's going to fuck up a whole lot of sales, a whole lot of processes. And we tried to talk them into it, and we're all right, we see you have a problem, a huge problem, and you also clearly see that, and there's really just a small fix to it. And talking about what Cardone in the future says, human beings, if they have a big problem, they're not gonna do small stuff to fix those big problems. But if they have small problems, they're gonna do big stuff to fix those small problems. So it's kind of counterintuitive and really fucked up, right? But you just gotta make them see that, oh shit, you have a big problem, and you gotta make them see the value in it. So if they pay $10,000 for a website, but that website generates 3 sales and services, which then generates them $30,000, well, it's a pretty fucking good deal, isn't it? So you gotta make them see that. Number 3 or 4, I don't know where the fuck we are at. Number 4 is price anchoring, right? So towards the end of the sales pitch, you need to bring up pricing because you want to get a verbal confirmation before you send a price proposal for price or whatever. You want to agree verbally, ish. And what I mean by ish is that you don't have to like have the exact fucking number pointed out there, but use price anchoring. And I'm gonna tell you how you do that. So use big and round numbers, right? If your website, if you think you're gonna get like, I don't know, let's say you want to get $3,000 out of this customer, right? You tell them towards the end, now we're gonna talk about it, but I can fix this problem for you, but it's gonna cost you between $8,000 and $2,000, right? So you say 8, and I pause intentionally because you're gonna wait and see for reactions. Two things can happen. Either they're gonna be like 8, cool, or they're gonna be like 8, fuck no, right? So you gotta see the situation of how it is. And if you say 8,000, they're gonna get fixated on 8,000, and then you say 2,000, they're gonna be like, oh shit, okay, not bad. And then you give them a price proposal of 4,000, right? Which is above what you aim for. They're gonna be like, oh shit, that's a good deal. I thought it was gonna cost 8,000. But if you turn it the other way around, they're gonna be like, not really a good deal, because they fixate on the first price you tell them. So just a small tip. Hold on, let me see. All right, so number 5 is, if you're a web design guy and know some shit or whatever the fuck you do, don't compete on price. People are always gonna be like, yeah, I talked to these people, they can do it cheaper. And that actually screams like not a good fit at all. You don't want to work with people who choose who they're going to work with based on price. Like, some people may do it and they may have good success with it, but usually people are going to be cheaper than you. There are going to be neighbors, fucking friends and shit who are going to do, or who can do stuff cheaper. And what you got to tell them is, that's totally fine. Choose them. I don't know why I'm sitting here. Don't tell that, but I don't know why I'm sitting here. You're interested in me, that's why I'm sitting here, but don't tell them that. Go choose them. The only difference is that I'm not going to be the one doing it. You're going to have to talk with those people. They're going to do it. And I believe in the value of my work. That's the only difference. But I want to help you. So if you have any questions regarding that, I want to help you. So always say that you want to help the client. Because you establish a better relationship, right? And that ultimately is going to lead to you closing the sale instead of the fucking neighbor. Because you say, I believe in what you do, let me help you. Great advice, Christo. Thank you for that. Just putting it out there in a different manner. So number 6 would be allowing silence. And a lot of people get uncomfortable with silence, but what we usually see is that when you talk and ask the right questions, people are going to shut the fuck up after they've talked for 3 minutes, and they're going to shut the fuck up for 3 seconds, and then they're going to keep talking for another 2 minutes. You can also use a strategy which is like the last word strategy, right? So if someone says, oh, I used to sell used cars, you just simply put in the last word of that sentence, which is cars, and they're like, oh yeah, cars, we sold a lot of blah blah blah, and they're going to keep talking. Fucking easiest conversation goer in history of mankind. Number 7, which I have pointed out here, is repeat what they say for clarity. Clarity is very important because they're going to say a lot of fucking shit, and a lot of that shit is not important, but you gotta pick out the few keywords that you find important and ask them, is this what you mean? So if they keep talking for 5 minutes, all right, so what I heard you say is blah 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, that's what I said. Cool. All right, I know what you're looking after. So that's number 7. Number 8 is handle objections the proper way. And this can be very tough. But ultimately, it's very easy if you have no expectations, right? If you don't expect to close them, then it doesn't really matter how you handle those objections, but you're going to handle them better. So let's say they don't want to buy. Why don't they want to buy? Because we're not ready yet, blah, blah, blah. Fucking bullshit. Everybody's ready to buy. Everybody wants to buy. The only thing that can stop them from buying, or 2 things, timing and money. And more often than not, it's money, budget. They don't have the fucking cash. They don't have cash flow. They're, let's say, startups. I don't know. They just don't want to spend the cash. And that's when you gotta handle it properly and say, all right, so what are you losing from not having a website? Oh, no, we're losing integrated marketing. Nobody's really reading our shit on Facebook because it gets lost in all the noise. When people Google us, they don't find our company. Well, isn't that a big problem? Oh yeah, it is. Shit. Then they realize, right? So identify the core problem and then act on it. So that's all I had for you. 8 tips on how I closed in $2,000